Okay, it looks like we are live now. We may have to do our intros again. We just did a big intro and then realized that the stream wasn't going out. So here we go. This will be our second attempt at it. It is actually going live this time. Hey everybody, this is Devin. I'm with raddevin.com, and if you go there, I will help you leave your job to become a web developer. And this is a project called Ship It School. It's where I work with a new or aspiring developer to try to help them ship a project that they've been working on. And today I'm working with Asam, and he's got an app about mindfulness that he's going to tell you a little bit about that he is just getting started on. All right, Asam, I've got you here. Tell us a little bit about the app you're going to be building.
Yeah, so essentially the app is it's like you said, a mindfulness app, and it seems now that sort of everyone's trying to push mindfulness a little bit more and make everybody a little bit more aware of it. I think the numbers are something like 1 in 4 of us are supposed to suffer from some type of mental illness, whatever that may be. So yeah, it's kind of just sort of a lot of the things that will be on there. We probably already know them. We probably already should be doing them, but whether we will or not is a different story. So it acts as sort of a little prompt for yourself and a little sort of accountability buddy almost, where you know you'll get little prompts to do something, and it'll just sort of be on your mind then in the back of your mind even almost throughout the day, and sort of just get you to think about how you're acting, how you're behaving, whether you're doing things you really want to be doing or don't want to be doing, and just sort of push you in the right direction really, so that you're getting the most out of your day or the most out of your time.
Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. I think it's, I mentioned before, I think it's easy to know what you should be doing, and it's a lot harder to do it. And sometimes you really just need something, something that says, hey, why don't you try this thing today? Try this activity that's going to put you a little bit outside your comfort zone, and that's enough to move you to action. So yeah, I really think this is a cool idea. I think it's a good thing to start building. And did you say your partner was part of the inspiration for this?
Yeah, she actually works in mental health. She's
Okay.
a registered mental health, so she deals with people sort of at the, you know, probably the extremes that we won't generally see day to day. But if
Right.
anything, it just makes her much more aware of how important it is and sort of what level people can get to if they sort of let themselves fall off almost. So
Yeah.
this can just maybe act as sort of something in the intermediate for people who are just struggling a little bit, or people who just want to be a little bit more aware of how they are and how they perceive themselves and how
Hmm.
others might perceive them or something.
Yeah. 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 No, I love it. Um, so let's start thinking about planning this out in terms of what we're going to build, and maybe to start, I'll have you just tell sort of like if 3 years from now or 2 years from now or whatever, you can call this app finished. What does that look like? What's the feature set that makes up this app as you sort of envision it in the long term?
Okay, so if it was complete, I guess we would want some way for the users to sort of sign in, log in,
Hmm.
so some type of authentication. I would like them to be prompted at a time they choose, if they choose to,
Hmm.
sort of with their daily task. Um, and then maybe again, the app would check in with them at the end of the day to see whether they've completed it and they were able to tick off that task for each day. If they weren't to have completed it for whatever reason, then it wouldn't give them a new one the following day. It would leave them with the same one unless they chose to do something different.
Hmm.
I think one other good feature might be to have some type of direct button or clickable something where they can call out to maybe the Samaritans or somebody else if they were in sort of in a further state than where the scope that this app would be able to deal with, you know, so that they get more professional level help if needed.
Sure.
Because that isn't something we're going to be doing here. Ours is just going to be general advice. We're not doctors or nurses or anything like that. So if somebody needed a little bit more, I think it'd be good to have a way for them to just click out to
Hmm.
something more official and more senior to get that help if they needed to.
Okay.
Um, and then I guess longer term, this could break down into other things. Well, mindfulness probably breaks down into hundreds of different categories. You know, things maybe depression, maybe social anxiety, maybe
Hmm.
public speak. You know, just maybe just little tips. You know, the same model could then be used with a variety of different things, really.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that gives us a lot to work with. Um, do you have some sort of project management tool that you're using for this or for other projects that you'd like to carry into this one, or are you sort of a blank slate on that stuff?
Yeah, with this one, I think when we first mentioned the potential of doing this, I was just about to get started, but I thought it would be good for us to work together and maybe for other people who are maybe a little bit, more beginners in this process to see they can come in with nothing. So really, yeah, I've got some ideas, but nothing concrete at the moment. I've used Trello before,
Okay.
and I think that's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. We actually we use
So we could maybe
that.
use.
Sorry, I lost you for a second there.
No problem.
Yeah, we used Trello on in the first season, and I think it worked out pretty well because it made it really easy to sort of lay out everything we want and then organize it into, okay, what's absolutely critical before we can ship the first version, and then what are kind of the wish list items. So maybe that would be a good place to start planning.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to share your screen and just set up a Trello board, and we'll just kind of dig in.
Yeah, I'll just sign in and then I'll share the screen.
Okay, cool. Feel free to share a little bit about your background too. That's something I forgot to touch on, Assam. Just kind of how what you've done so far and what your goals are and that sort of thing. I think that could be pretty interesting too.
Yeah, so I think maybe around 6 months or so ago, I decided that I wanted to sort of pursue a career in web development. It's something that I had thought about before, but not something that I'd ever sort of went ahead with. So I started doing a little research into various careers before I found this one. And web development just seemed to tick all the boxes for me in terms of its current.
Hmm.
You're not really sort of geographically restricted. You can do it from anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no real sort of, it's quite a low barrier to entry, really. You don't need a degree, you don't need X, Y, Z qualification. So it's accessible for someone my age, really. And the other thing was I needed something where, because I'm already a bit older and I've got a family and I've got responsibilities, I needed something where I could earn pretty okay money
Hmm.
sort of from the beginning. I couldn't be at a point where I would go in and sort of on a really low salary because I wouldn't be able to work. So it seemed like it was almost perfect, really.
Hmm.
So I just sort of started doing different research and different roadmaps and different sort of technologies. And I ended up sort of focusing on the basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript initially.
Hmm.
Um, and then from there, I've sort of went on to start looking at React, which is what I want to use for this project as well.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I've got a little bit of freelance experience now using WordPress, just basic stuff, but it's nice to get paid a little bit. That's
Yeah.
something else that we've talked about before and something that I'm definitely up for pursuing a little bit more.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's about where I'm at. I feel like I'm actually just seeing one of your articles the other day where it was like, when do you know you're ready? And I'm at that point now where I'm a little bit stuck in that sort of limbo where I feel like I could be
Yeah.
some days, and then the next day I feel like I'm nowhere near. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm close.
Right. And I think you've come tremendously far in your 6 months you've been pursuing this.
Okay, right. I think I logged in now. I'm just going to create a new blog now. Should be able to share my screen just from here now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, does it
Great.
work?
Yep. Looks good.
Okay, so right, we're logged in Trello now. Mindfulness shared school.
Okay.
So we'll add a couple of lists. Let me just change the background to some basic.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Anything you would suggest for lists? So I think I liked your idea of having sort of a wish list and a first version list. That's a good idea, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe start with just the wish list and let's kind of list everything out, and then we can break it down from there.
On a wish list. Um, so initially, so we're going to start from the basics if we can, then.
Just however it comes to you. We'll sort them out later. However you think of it.
Okay, so we need some type of authentication.
Okay.
We need some type of group of sort of tasks or challenges, whatever we want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
We need daily alerts, the ability to check off on this, the challenge. Maybe a reminder. Resources. I don't remember what else I said now on the finished article.
Let's see. Authentication, list challenges. I think that may be basically it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll sort of fan out into more little sort of sections for each one, but I think that's the majors.
Yeah, I think you got it. Um, so let's do another list, and let's just call it critical, and we'll just drag over the cards that we absolutely need to get to a first release.
Okay, so
Okay.
we
And
definitely need the list of challenges.
yeah, list of challenges.
Um,
And actually, so we talked about this just a little bit over email, and I think that might be a first version. I think you could, because what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get people to reach outside their comfort zone, and sort of do some things that they need to do for for their business, personal life. And I think all they really have to have is some way to see what they should be doing.
yeah, I mean, on a very basic level, you're right, that's it. They should just be able to point their phone or their web browser to somewhere and see something like, I don't know, reach out to a friend, grab a
Yeah,
coffee with someone you wouldn't normally,
right,
just
right.
something basic.
Yeah, yeah. So I think maybe we could start building that, and we'll just build it with these other features you want to eventually have in mind, so that we don't paint ourselves into a corner, and then just see if we can
Hmm.
get it out with just the challenges to start with.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just need to look somewhat good and have the list of challenges somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, so you had talked about sort of a daily challenge, so I'm guessing we would probably want to maybe display just one of the challenges from your list, right? Um, so a
Yeah,
single
just one, and
visit.
then maybe
Sorry, go ahead.
maybe we could change it each time the browser reloads, or change it at a set time interval or something. I think maybe on each visit would work the best
Sure.
though.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be super easy to implement to get started. Um, so yeah, do you want to just try to start building that and see how far we can get?
Yeah,
Okay,
why
cool.
not?
And I'm gonna try as hard as I can to not be quite as much of a backseat driver as I was on the previous season. I really just want to be here to kind of support you and help you when you get stuck. But definitely feel free to pull me in if you need help. But otherwise, I'll just kind of watch and interject when I need to.
Okay, no problem. Just create a directory first time.
Cool. What operating system are you using here?
Ubuntu.
Okay.
Actually, we should just use create React app to start. That's what I usually do for React applications.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Just so there's if anybody's following,
Yeah.
show them how to do it too.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great.
So yeah, I mean it's super simple really. We just literally use this little code here, npx create React, and then we call it something. So we'll call it ship it. So that hopefully won't take too long.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good start. And of capital letters.
Yep.
That must be a create React 2.0 problem.
Oh yeah.
So we'll try it again.
Yeah, looks like you like that one.
Yeah. So I'm thinking regarding the list of challenges and stuff, we're going to need that in some type of an array somewhere, aren't we? Maybe just inside the application folder initially.
Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, so eventually you're going to want people to be able to check off tasks. So at that point, it might make sense to to have them in some sort of database with IDs, and then for each user have a list of completed tasks, and just make that a list of the IDs that they've completed. Or if you were doing like that would maybe work for a NoSQL database, and then if you wanted a relational database, you might have like a table that was completed tasks that just sort of mapped users onto task IDs that they've completed. But I think for now, just an array is probably good.
Even just one, yeah. So we've got the basics now from the create React app. So we're going to open this in VS Code.
Okay. Have you been using VS Code from the start, or did you start out with a different editor?
The very start, I used Sublime.
Okay.
Which was okay. It was fine. And then I moved over to Atom.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'm not sure why. I think everybody else seemed to be talking about VS Code, so I went with it. I had no problems with Atom, really. It was a pretty good editor, I thought, but
yeah,
everybody kind of said VS Code was the way to go, so I jumped on the hype train a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been pretty good. There's hundreds of packages you can add to it and sort of make things a lot easier, so it's pretty good.
Right.
Okay, so maybe we should think a little bit about the file structure and the folder components we're going to need first, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe we're going to need a navigation component. Should we use the app, the Trello board for this, maybe, or just go for it on the
fly? Whatever works best for you.
So we'll create a new folder called components then.
Okay.
then we will create a file called nav.js for the navbar.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll create another file called maybe challenge.js
Mm-hmm.
for the actual challenge, or that's going to be displayed. We'll have some type of footer. And on the simplest sense of the word, I'm not sure what else we'll need, to be honest. On the front end, it's going to be fairly basic, isn't it, by the sounds of it, initially?
Yeah, I think so. For the first release, I think you could definitely get by with those components.
Yeah. So at the moment, we've obviously got the Create Act stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for now, we can just copy some of this to make it a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we're going to have. I don't need this logo or the act.css. I'm going to make this the nav. Start the nav.
Okay.
Kind of strange trying to talk through what I'm doing. It's a strange experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different if you're not used to it. You're doing a great job though.
So we'll just delete everything inside the div for now. And we'll give this one a class of nav.
Okay. How do you like to do CSS with React?
Yeah, so I've tried a few different things. The one that I've mainly been using, I think, well, actually, there's two that I've been using. There's one little library called Tachyons. I'm not sure if you have heard of that.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I've either been using that. I'll quickly go to the website. It's kind of just, you just sort of get the styles from the class name, so you don't really need a separate style sheet. You know, they just have different class names, similar to how Bootstrap works.
Okay.
So you'll just sort of. I've been using this or materialized CSS usually, because most of the things that I've been doing, to be fair, I haven't really been trying to focus on the CSS that much. I'm just trying to sort of get experience with different things, sort of like, I don't know, using the React router or so styling hasn't been that important to me. I've just been trying to get something that looks not terrible.
Right.
Because I'm just using it to sort of learn different skills here and there. So I suppose this will be maybe the first time where I need to sort of be a little bit more bothered about the styling, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Have you got any thoughts now? Well, I know a lot of people, there's lots of different ways, isn't there, really, to style it? There's a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it's sort of a big controversy, and to be perfectly honest, I haven't written enough React to really come down one way or the other. I know there's a lot of sort of I'll call it zealotry around not using not putting CSS in your JavaScript, and I don't really subscribe to that. I don't really care. Just whatever works best. But yeah, I don't have a really well-formed opinion at this point. So yeah, I think whatever you decide to go with is great. I'm looking at Tachyons right now. I think it's even reasonable. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, Tachyons is okay. I was just going to show you one thing now. I built this sort of following a tutorial, and this was all Tachyon stuff. You can make some quite cool things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some of it look, it's all done really simple. It just sort of, little class names. It's worked fine so far. So I think maybe we can use that.
No, I think that's great. Yeah. Especially, I think when you're trying to ship your first version, I just tell people, use use anything that's out there. Don't, you know, don't feel like you have to build something yourself just because you're a developer, and like you need to prove that you're a developer. You know, if there's something out there that works and does most of what you need it to do, then use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just gonna remember how to get it in. Probably should have done all this first.
No, that's fine. No, that's what this stream's about. It's about doing all
Because
this
yeah, it's
stuff
quite.
live.
I know we have to import it from somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I suppose we could just link the style sheet here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do that for now. There is a way to import it via npm. That's what I did last time. But for now, we'll put this in.
Okay.
And the HTML here. Okay, so we're going to do a nav bar. So we'll just try and find one that will look over a little bit. Just to get us away for now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing we can sort of just leave them as dead links now. The only links we're going to need really are home. But might have to do two different sort of components, maybe for signed in links and signed out links. So when you're signed in, it's going to show you a sign out, and when you're not, it'll show you a sign up or something.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I guess you could either do that as two components, or you could just do it conditionally inside one component. I wouldn't worry about it for now though, since you're not going to do authentication with the first version. I mean, it's good to think about for the future, but I wouldn't worry about creating those components yet.
So if we just shut this in, so maybe for now we'll just have a few dummy ones in there then. So
Sure.
Sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Sign in.
Mm-hmm.
Just put out or something. Just for now, just to make sure everything's working.
Sure.
Okay, so if we go back to the app.js now. Any of this, we'll just try and display the nav for now, just to make sure that's working. Start. Yeah, we haven't imported it, so we don't need the logo. We can just import it. Now, components. Start 11. Try that again.
Yeah.
Import. Should be it, shouldn't it?
I think so. That was not fine.
Node.js. Exploit. No. Let's try something else just to make sure that it's working for them. Okay, so that's working.
Do you need to import? Do you need to import nav from nav?
Oh yeah, that's you're right. Yeah, you're right. We don't have. Um,
And I think your first nav should not be a string.
no quotes yet. So yeah,
Okay,
eventually.
cool. Oh
Right.
yeah, that looks great.
So yeah, tachyons. It'll just be probably a way to get things quick, and then we can decide if we want to float things left, right, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so we'll do the footer now because it should be again fairly simple.
Okay.
I tend to just copy these things along just to and then just make things a little bit simpler.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I do when I'm working with React. I haven't worked with it
Okay,
enough
this one.
yet to memorize exactly how to set up a component class.
Yeah, there's actually some shortcuts in VS Code where you just sort of when you type IMR and it gives you the import React from React. But I find this way just as easy to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see if Tachyons has any footers ready for us to make things easier again. I feel like we don't need anything that complicated for the footer anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe we can just do something like if we say text, I think that means text center. See if I remember some of these now. So TC is text center. Just try that for a minute. I'll just put the famous made with love.
Yeah.
So if we import footer from slash footer.
Got a typo in footer on your import.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Footer. I've got my screen sharing there. I can't think if it's working. Can I hide that? Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can hide it.
Okay, let's put it on the top of the screen for some reason. See it just here.
Oh
It's
yeah.
down.
Oh yeah, I just barely see it. Weird. Why would it do that?
Mm, maybe
Huh.
we can- Oh, because we've just put it in a div and not as a footer.
Oh, gotcha.
What I'll do actually is just copy this in and then strip it down.
Okay.
Don't cheat as much as possible.
That's right.
If we just no, it's still gone at the top.
That's weird. Huh.
Maybe we don't even need the div whatsoever. Now it's gone underneath. Oh, I know why, Devon. I don't. It's proving to be more difficult than I thought. I have no idea why it was going to go to the page.
Let's look at your nav again for a second.
Yes.
Huh. Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, so the nav, it makes sense why it is getting a black background, but we don't know why your footer is getting a black background, right?
Yeah, footer, these PVs and PH, they should tell us what they value, but they just. But even when we tried it just with simple text, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Usually, when you give it something a footer tag, it would tend to just go to the foot, wouldn't it? Not to the bottom.
Let's see. I'm going to look up some documentation for tachyons while you're looking at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I worked with it, but I know there is sort of plenty in there. I'm sure the PV is something to do with padding vertical and padding horizontal.
Yeah.
It's like it's trying to fit the whole app inside the nav at the moment.
Right.
For some reason. Maybe if we just put some dummy content in the challenge and see what that does for now.
Yeah, maybe that's the only issue.
So let's just try that for now.
Okay.
So if we go on the challenge, export at the bottom. Something like now. I love that lorem tab on VS Code.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I noticed it looks like you've got Prettier or something like that running too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember I found an article online that got me quite a few of the extensions I use, and most of them are pretty good. They sort of fix the indentation when you save it, and
Yeah.
plenty of other things. Sort of coloring.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's really nice.
Can't spell again. So yeah, the problem seems to be that nothing's going below the nav for some reason.
Okay.
The footer's now gone to the bottom though.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. So the problem is that the elements are actually underneath the nav.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe we selected the wrong nav. Look. It says something about semi-transparent or something. No. So I was bigging it up, tachyons, and it turns out to be terrible.
No, I think it'll still be good. I think we just. Oh, well, so what if you take out fixed from your nav classes?
So, ah, yeah, okay. So just remove the fix.
Yeah. There we
Good
go.
shout. Good shout. Okay. So now we need to fix the footer to the bottom somehow. Um, Maybe we should have just went with standard CSS, Devin.
I think I think this will be helpful. Um, Getting a footer to be at the bottom of the viewport is actually way more tricky than it should be, no matter how you're
Yeah,
doing
you're
it.
right. You're right. Because you can just add, you can still add normal CSS anyway for any problems that you have. You can just still link and put everything in the app CSS or whatever still, or create other style sheets if you need to.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that'll probably.
Well, at least we'll have it. So I guess we'll move on to something a bit more meaningful. Just got in the project folder for now, would you say, Devin? That's something I'm not too sure on, to be honest, right now. I know, like you said, database or something like that would work best further down the line, but initially to get us started.
Yeah, I think just tossing it in the project folder is fine for now.
So maybe just create a new. Where would be the best place to put this now? Maybe we could just create a folder called data or something.
Yeah, a data folder. I think that makes sense.
So a new folder called data, and in there would it need to be what type of file would it need to be? JSON or?
I think JSON is the easiest way to get started.
So maybe just challenge.json.
Yeah.
Challenges.
Yeah, I like that.
JSON. Okay. And the best format for that now, just a simple array now?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think I'd do it as an array.
We give it a const or not?
No. So the JSON file will just be, you'll just start your array.
Just simply the array. Okay.
Yep.
So maybe a title, each one would have a title and a small description, or just literally keep it simple and just have the challenge itself.
Um,
I'm guessing, maybe just the challenge would deal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe just the challenge, maybe just an array of strings.
So we should just put a string array. So maybe should I just put a couple in here for now, just quickly? Obviously, I don't have 100 right now off the top of my head, but I do have some written down on my phone, I think.
Yeah, just a couple for now is good. That'll give us enough to start building, and then we can flesh it out later.
Maybe something all happy. I'm gonna have problems now with the should use double quotes, shouldn't I? Do I need a backslash in it? I'm not used to the JSON. Do I need a backslash in here now to make that?
Yeah, actually, let me
Yeah.
think. You might have to double quote strings in JSON.
Yeah, that'd be easier. I think so.
Let me see.
Makes it easier anyway than if you do have any apostrophes that don't cause problems, do they?
Yeah, true. Yeah, that'll avoid that problem too.
So should we be giving these an ID now as well, actually? I forgot about that.
I don't think it's super important right now. It will be, I think, once we start thinking about completing them. But I think for now it's okay without.
Okay, well, that'll do for now. It gets us away, doesn't it, rather than spending lots of time. See, my spell checkers on American version. This is it. No, that's one of the strange things about programming when you're from the UK. I now spell colour incorrect all the time. If I'm writing colour, then I just always miss the U out now.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so I'm assuming now in the challenge.js we can import this JSON just like it would any other file.
I think so, yeah.
So
it looks like
we haven't exported it or anything. Will that just work the same as well or not actually?
It should just work based on what I'm looking at here. I've never actually done it this way, but this answer I found on Stack, they're just import, they're naming it from, and then the path of the JSON file, and that's it. I'll shoot you a link to this so you can see.
All right, okay, so just
yeah, just like import and then whatever you want to call it.
So we'll just put something like challenge data or something.
Yeah, yeah. And then from, and then give it to path as a string. Yeah.
Actually, we come out there, don't we? / challenges.
Yeah. I think that should work. And so now that,
maybe in this case.
Yeah, you could just output the first one there if you wanted.
Yeah, so only curly braces?
Yes.
Or not actually.
Yeah, I think you do need curly braces.
Yeah. So maybe just challenge data and then the position.
Right.
Kind of like that.
Yep. You've got one space in there you don't need after the name of your variable. Before your bracket. Yeah.
Oh, here?
No, so between challenge data and your index.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Pretty5 probably would have fixed it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got that coming out now. That's good.
Yep.
We just need it to look a bit better now because the styling is disgusting. I guess that's something that I hadn't really thought about in advance, how I wanted to look in terms of colors and things like that. I mean,
sure.
I guess we can do that as we go along.
Yeah.
Well, at least we've got something up dynamically now, which is nice.
Yeah. Do you want to think about randomizing what we get back, and do that first before you start doing any sort of UI stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think getting it to work properly is better anyway initially, isn't it? That's what's most important, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
Yeah, so we'll do that then. We'll forget about how it looks for now.
Okay. Sounds great.
So we've got this challenge data anyway, haven't we? So we know we can import from there.
Hmm.
If we're going to randomize it, are we going to need an ID then?
I don't think so, because so the index in the array is sort of serving as a proxy for an ID at this point.
So could we do just sort of math.random in here or something?
Yeah, I think we could, and just use the
Just
length
will
of
not.
the array as sort of the top, the ceiling of the random value.
Yeah. Okay. Let me sort of refresh my memory.
I'm gonna, yeah,
Yeah. So we
you got
would.
it there. Here's actually, I'm gonna shoot you a link to a Slack answer that's almost exactly what you need, what you want.
All right. Okay. Reset it in. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, and for some reason this thing doesn't actually links anymore. I think it used to do that, but
No, okay.
okay.
Ah, yeah. So the var item. So we kind of need this one, don't we?
Yeah.
Let's just grab that for now. Um, let me just. I don't even know what's in the question. So we're gonna have let now rather than var, aren't we, to start with?
Yeah, that should be
Make it
fine.
a bit proper.
You can probably even do const, because each time this
Right.
executes, it's only going to have one value. So
Yeah. So, so we're gonna we're gonna need to put that just under the render or just
mhm.
above the render, is it?
Yeah, yeah, you could do that. Another thing we could do is, I'm trying to think if this actually gives us any advantage. You could make a method that all it does is returns a random item out of the data, and then you could just call that method in your render function. But this would
Or just
work.
all direct.
What's that?
So we can just do it all directly inside here, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could do it all there, um, or you could make a separate method in your class that does it, and then call that method in the render. Um, or you can do this. I think any of those is actually fine. I'm trying to think if there's a distinct advantage to doing one or the other. Nothing is
Okay.
coming to mind.
So we can do it for this for now then.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to rename these to something for us, aren't we?
Yeah.
Maybe naming is way more important than you think, isn't it? These things I
Oh,
always
yeah.
just fire out the first thing that comes to mind, and then once it starts to get and be a bit more complicated, you think, well, I wish I named this, that.
Yeah, no kidding. Or if you have to leave it for a couple weeks and come back to it, that's the worst.
So maybe random challenge.
Yeah.
And rather than items here, we're going to have to refer to our word around. We're going to have to refer to our challenge data here, aren't we?
Yes, you got it.
Challenge data. Let's see here. And then we can just literally get the random challenge here.
Yep.
The next one in. Okay. Perfect.
Yep, looks great.
So that's working now.
Yep.
Yeah. We've run out a little bit. I suppose when we have more, we won't get the same one twice, will we?
Right, right. Not as frequently, at least.
Yeah. Okay, so from our basic list, we wanted to display something randomly, which we've got now. So I guess we just need it to look better now and have more challenges.
Yeah, yeah.
Starting to think this might have been too simple of an app now.
Yeah, exactly. We can go layer in some more of your wish list items. I mean, well, what we can do, I think what we should do is maybe once we get it kind of the way we want it with this feature set, then we just go ahead and ship it, and then we can iterate.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're working, getting it to look a bit nicer then, and maybe you get the footer where it's supposed to be, and
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
go
let
for the
me
black and white.
I'll do a little research here and see kind of what is the modern way of putting the footer at the bottom.
Yeah, it's harder than I think. It's flex, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking there was a way to do it with Flexbox, but I'm not even sure exactly what it is.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Like you say, a footer is something that causes way more problems than it should.
Yeah, yeah, you would think that would be a pretty easy problem to solve at this point, but there's still weird things in CSS that are way harder than they seem like they ought to be. Um, Here's a pretty good one I found on CSS Tricks that uses Flexbox. Let me send it across the chat here. You can see what you think.
Yeah. So, okay.
I think it may have jumped up to a different one. He's got 5 methods on this page.
All right. Okay. So, which one were you thinking? The Flexbox one?
Yeah, the Flexbox one looks pretty neat.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, maybe we'll steal this one then, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Strange that he has nothing inside the footer tags here. I almost think, why have them?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll grab this and then put this inside our div.
Yeah.
So footer.js. Actually,
Yeah, I think you can leave it. I think you can leave it the way you had it, and we can actually do it with just the markup you've already got.
all right, okay.
Yeah,
This is what
so
we had originally.
yeah, okay, that looks good. So all we need to do, and we could just do these styles in line for now, and then if we, if we want to go back and break them out, we can. So on this footer, add flex shrink 0.
So we just want to do a style inline here.
Yeah, do a style inline. And we can just give it an object, right? Style equals, and then one set of curly braces to evaluate an expression, and then another set to have an object inside that expression, and you don't even have to have the quotes because we're just going to hand it an object. And then do flex shrink as the key in camel case instead of with the dash. Yep. And then it'll have 0 as the value. With a colon instead of the comma. Okay. Yeah. So that's that piece. And now we need, let's go to the app component.
Yeah.
Okay. So the app component, we'll use it the way they're using the body. So we can give it height 100%, display flex, and then flex direction column.
In this div here.
Yes.
Same format again, double curly braces.
Right.
So we want height 100%.
Yes. That, I think you pass that as a string. I think that's how that has to work. I'm not entirely sure on how these style objects have to work, but I think that one will be a string.
Just 100%?
Yeah, just 100%.
All right, okay.
And then display flex.
String again?
A string again.
Yeah. Flex.
And flex direction column. And flex direction will be camel cased. Yeah, you got it. And column is string.
I've never used it like this before.
Yeah, I used it like this a little bit on actually the last project we worked on in the first season, Jammate. We passed some styles like this, and it's pretty handy. Once you pass in an object. Go ahead.
Do we need this content in there or not?
So content in our case. So content in our case is both the nav and the challenge. So maybe we need to wrap those into something else, and we'll give that the style they gave to the content. Does that make sense?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the nav and the challenge together. So we need a.
Maybe
actually,
just
should we see how this?
Should we do what?
Let's see how this quickly looks for now.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll see if make sure everything works. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected, I guess. Didn't actually change anything yet.
Right. Yeah, so we need the. Yeah, we need the contents now in there, don't we?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to wrap the nav and the challenge together in a div then.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah. Anything with its auto-complete, sometimes it does things you don't want it to.
Yeah, it's helpful most of the time, but sometimes it gets in your way.
Okay, so I'm gonna put them two in a div.
I was thinking the same thing about the auto bracket closing earlier when it gave you three, like one pair and then a trailing curly brace.
Yeah, it can be a pain.
Yeah.
Right, so we need style in here, yeah?
Yep. And there we want, what is it? Flex 10 auto. Oh, that's So I don't know how to do shorthand properties in this, and actually I don't know if you can. I think you can't.
Oh yeah, because that's basically two different things there. Isn't it?
Yeah,
One's a-
exactly. Yeah, it's and what are they? So the first one is the last one is flex basis. So flex basis is auto. The first one is shrink, and the second one is grow. I think. Let me look that up. Flex shorthand property. We can just split them out. I think that's probably the easiest way.
Flex shrink 1, flex grow 0.
I may have gotten them backwards. Let me look here.
And
Yeah, actually, so the first value is flex grow, I think. Yeah, first value is flex grow, second value is flex shrink, and then the last value is flex basis.
okay, so flex grow is going to be 1.
Right.
And flex shrink is going to be 0.
Mm-hmm.
Flex basis is going to be auto.
Yep.
Have to be a string now.
Yes, has to be a string. Okay, so there's that. There's one more thing we have to do to make it work, and for this, we're going to have to probably have just a style sheet because we need to style the HTML element.
Oh yeah, okay.
And we need to give it height 100%.
Yeah, so should we just use the app CSS, which is already linked for now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't think we need any of this right now, do we?
No, I don't think so.
We can get rid of all of that. We're going to do HTML.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do height 100%.
Yep.
After all that, we could have just really shut them all in here.
We could have what?
We could have put them all in this style sheet.
Oh yeah, we could have. Yeah. That did not work.
No.
Are the changes in app.js saved?
Yeah, everything's saved.
You saved everything.
Yeah.
Interesting. Looks right.
Yeah, flex grow, flex shrink, flex basis.
Oh, so
errors.
okay. Here, I bet this is it. So I was thinking in terms of treating this top level div inside the app as what they're doing with the body in that example. But the body will also have to have height 100, height 100%. So go back to the app CSS and just add body to that same selector and see if that actually with a comma so that they both get styled with height 100. Yeah, like that. And still no. Okay.
No, still no.
I guess we can start inspecting if you want and just kind of try to see where it's falling down. Check the HTML element and make sure the height got set to 100 and didn't get overridden anywhere.
Yeah, HTML height.
Okay. Same for body.
Body, yeah, height 100%.
Looks good. Okay, so now what is happening?
Footer maybe. So the footer we've only got flex shrink 0, is that correct?
I think that's correct. Yeah, flex shrink
correct.
0. Is there anything else besides the... Oh, there's a... Oh, okay. So yeah, there's a root div above app So that one doesn't have height 100%. So
Yeah.
add height
The root's
100% to that and see if it works.
So stick root in as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Need a comma.
yeah, a comma, and it's an ID, so you'll have to stick a.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Right, the foot has moved down now. We're getting closer.
Nice.
Pause this for a second. Okay, so that's kind of what we want now, isn't it? Really, it's pretty close by the time we
Yeah,
style it up and whatnot.
yeah. I think for the footer part of it, that's pretty good. Whatever other tweaks we want to make, but I think the most glaring thing right now is that that div that has no, it's not the. Actually, it's probably just the challenge component needs some kind of padding, and then it would look 10 times better.
Yeah, let's so enough for now. Challenge. Oh, we go at class name and now. There's a good problem. I forgot to delete that when I've copied and pasted it.
Oh yeah.
So if we just give that a text center for now.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Maybe we should have had. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not fancy, but it doesn't look bad either.
Yeah, could definitely do with something more. Need to decide what colours I want to go with, I guess, really.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's the problem now.
Yeah.
Maybe just something in. Actually, why not? Let's been meaning to look at this for a while. I heard this was pretty good for selecting different colours.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I've used this. You just hit spacebar and it generates a palette for you. Yeah. Yeah, I like this a lot. And
so it gives you colours that.
Yeah, yeah. And you can lock a color that you like and then generate everything around it.
Yeah, if you pick one out of the lot, you just hit this lock button here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a pretty nice tool.
So let's have this one now.
Yeah, I think. What's that?
I hit spacebar instead of clicking it for the lock.
Yeah, it's almost too easy to generate new palettes with this one. I like blue. I like blue for what you're doing. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Let's just get something in for now.
Sure.
So if we copy, should be a faster way to copy, maybe it is. If we make the background of the page this color for now. Actually, these are like okay.
Yeah.
We've got some colors there.
Yeah. That's actually really nice.
What else does it give us? Okay, this is finish. Okay. Maybe we need some more padding off the top of here, I guess. It's a bit close to the nav.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Since you're... Let me think about this. Since you're using Flexbox, there might actually be a way to center that vertically in the available space, which could look kind of nice.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
looks
you're right.
nice though. That looks nice too. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
because I
that's a
was
good
thinking
place to start.
maybe we could have a little background, maybe even white or whatever for the whole sort of middle square here.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of guessing on the numbers. And your flex box probably would be a better way. So 6 is the highest we can go, I think.
Hmm.
Okay, we
Okay.
can leave it there for now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. That might be a good stopping point for today, since we're just about at time. What do you think?
Yeah, at least we've got something that doesn't look terrible, and
Yeah.
we'll just hit refresh a couple of times, make sure that we still get a random.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we schedule our next one, I'll have a little bit more thought on maybe colours or some type of scheme there we can do.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, we've got something at least, in the end of one session, which is good.
Yeah. Absolutely. I kind of think my opinion is we maybe start the next section getting this live, and then start working from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be down for that. At least we've got something sort of out there then, haven't we? Which was the
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for taking time, Assam, and working on this and streaming it. I think
No
we made some
problem.
really good progress.
Yeah, I'm excited to get going again. Hopefully we get this ship next time, as you say, sort of version 1.0, and then
Yeah,
we'll keep building. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Cool. Well, thanks everybody who tuned in and watched, and for anyone who's watching the recording after the fact, thank you. And go to raddevon.com if you're trying to transition into a web development career. I've got a lot of resources there that can help you, and you can get on my email list to get new articles as they come out and announcements of things like this stream and other opportunities where I can help you move forward. Thanks a lot.